Good morning. I'll wait a couple of seconds before I get started and wait for somebody to drop down and join me. For my supporters and subscribers, because I see two people up in the bushes right now, but you're probably maybe not someone who actually supports me. And this is for the people who are subscribe to me and support me. So I'll just wait a few seconds for someone to drop down in the chat before I begin. I hope everyone is having a beautiful, beautiful Sunday, because I am. It is always a beautiful day, because you know why? Somebody didn't wake up this morning, but I did and you did, and that makes it a beautiful day for you and for me. Hi, Key. Hello, Rockstar. Valerie Horn, good morning. Yeah, but I wanted to speak about this particular woman because she's one of my personal heroines, and has been for about 40 years. And I see that she's kind of been moved to the back burner of history. And I just can't sit back and allow that to happen to her, because she did so many great things. And she's someone whom we today can model ourselves after. She's a wonderful role model. And I will bring that to the front and to the fore after I get through telling you about her. Now, she was a journalist. She wrote a couple of books. But what a lot of people don't know is she was a co-founder of the NAACP. And a misogynistic W.E.B. Du Bois tried to leave her name off, but she publicly challenged him. And for the sake of history, she has been acknowledged as one of the original co-founders. And she was also a teacher. And you guys, she received a posthumous Pulitzer Prize. Now, let's get into why I admire her so much. For one, she spoke out when it was very dangerous for her to do so. And even after she was exposed to that danger, she continued to speak out. And even more so. And she spoke out as a woman as well. And what did she speak out against? Lynchings, the rights of Black women, and Black men wrongly accused of raping white women. In her 1892 book, Southern Horrors, she described Black men and women as Samsons, poor, blind, African-American Samsons, to denote Black men as victims of white Delilahs. That was something to say back then. Okay, this was like in 1892, I believe it was. And she did a 100-page pamphlet called The Red Record, and she described lynchings in the United States since Emancipation Proclamation. Her research revealed 10,000 Black people had been killed in cold blood through lynching without the formality of a judicial trial and legal execution, men and women. And a lot of people didn't know that women were also lynched. And she gave the reasons for the lynching as being: one, to suppress Black political activity; two, to reestablish white supremacy; and three, to avenge alleged attacks on white women. She connected lynching to sexual violence, illustrating how the myth of Black man's lust led to the murder of African American men. Now, I say that's a lot to say when they're actually doing heavy duty lynching. And her free speech newspaper in Memphis, Tennessee, was demolished because she wrote an article spearheading the release of a black man wrongly accused of raping a white woman, a woman who eventually confessed to her husband that it was not rape. The white press felt threatened and called her a scoundrel. A white mob attacked her free speech press office, destroying the building and its contents. Suffice it to say, she never returned to Memphis. She moved to Harlem, which is when and where she published her book, Southern Horrors. She even traveled to Britain to speak out against racism, lynching, and the lack of rights for Black women. Eventually, she moved to Chicago. She married a Black attorney, had 4 children, and her husband, Mr. Barnett, founded the first Black newspaper in Chicago, the Chicago Conservator, and she served as editor. She never stopped fighting, including fighting for the rights of women. And the picture on my avatar is her at an older age. And she never stopped fighting for the rights of women either. Now, 40 years ago, I read her autobiography, Crusade for Justice, and thought if she could speak out during those times, why can't I speak out, in my time? Fast forward to today, guys. Why are so many smart, talented, vocal Black people not speaking out? I'd say one popular artist who is speaking out is Beyonce. She's not worried about what people think about her or anything like that. But we could all do it, and we should all do it. When we see an injustice, we need to speak out, and we need to stand up. Because like I said, they put her through hell, but she never stopped speaking out. She spoke more afterwards. And I would hope that we would not be intimidated to the point where we don't speak out. Because sometimes, we have to move away from the BS and all the other stuff going on and speak out about who we are and who we should be and what we should be doing. A lot of talking going on, but it doesn't move us forward. So much of it moves us backward. And I'm guilty of that as well. But we can always improve if we don't do it but once a week. But we do need to speak out. And I think Ida B. Wells, because her book that I have, Hey, Mysterious Mermaid, her book that I purchased 40 years ago, I have it on like a little stand to remind me of who I really am and who I should be. I mean, I have other books next to it, but there are 3 books that are out there for everyone to see if they come into my home. And that's one of it. It's in a prominent position because I admire her tenacity, her courage, her bravery, her intellect, so much. And she even had a postage stamp at one point. But as time goes on, just like, those young guys, those young men over there, twins of the new trend, just like they never heard of people like, Shaka Khan or Whitney Houston. And watching them watch her when when they first hear it, it's amazing to me that they don't know who they are. And that's because we don't put it in front of them when they're younger. The same thing is happening to Ida B. Wells. She should not be forgotten ever because she did so much. She created basically the platform for the NAACP. So she did great things, and she should be one of our heroines, and she should be right alongside Martin Luther King, Frederick Douglass, because Frederick Douglass supported her and supported her financially as well for her trips abroad. So she should not be forgotten. And a lot of times it's easier to push women into the, you know, back burner or the backside of history and not acknowledge them. And it's up to us to pull them forward and lift them up and let people know who she was and how important she was for our future. So that's really all I had to say today. I wanted to bring her to your attention. I've been putting this off for a while because other stuff came up, but I was determined to get this one out today. I hope you all go in and have a beautiful Sunday. Thank you all for coming in and joining me. I appreciate you so much. And like I always tell you, find a reason to laugh because laughter is good for the soul. It really is. And I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. Don't eat too much. I'm going to make baked chicken. My mother's recipe for baked chicken casserole with rice and stuff. It's going to be good, and I'm going to enjoy it. And along with that, I'll have some string beans, green beans, whatever you want to call them, and a salad. So I'm getting ready to get started cooking my dinner, and have a great day, everybody. Love y'all. Bye-bye.